How are you?
Well, hello. Hi
Hi.
there, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, sir.
Salutations, sir.
It should be the Summer Lees of the world, the Maxwell Frosts of the world, the Ayanna Presleys of the world. Those are the people that should be around here. They're still basing their ideology on baby boomers. That's what the fuck they're thinking about. Why? Because they still have baby boomers sitting in Congress when their asses need to be down the Shady Pines.
Damn, Shady Pines? Not
Shady
even
Pines,
good.
man.
They mad. And that's why we have a DEI president now.
They've been
Unqualified
mad
ass.
for some time now, okay?
Unqualified ass. I think that is. If black people ain't woke, they need to be. Because I read the white book, getting away wasn't a chapter.
These are the people y'all put in place. But y'all want to talk about meritocracy, and you have this level of incompetence at the
They do
highest
have
levels
merit.
of government.
No one else can fuck up more than them. That is a skill. That is a talent. No one can be more incompetent than them.
Who the fuck knows who you are, Kid Martin? That's one. Two, I read through the fucking memorandum and wanted to claw my eyeballs out and pour cayenne pepper and Tabasco sauce into my bloody eye sockets, okay? Nobody's reading that shit. See, this is the problem. Who in the electorate, besides stupid ass political nerds like myself, are gonna his bitch ass too? Now maybe he done sniffed a few too many poppers while he done got his back blown out down to the New York City. Now they done told me about that young man. He done went completely rogue too. Lay off the fucking poppers, Richie Torres. That shit is how you lose fucking brain cells.
That knockoff great value Cruella DeVille looking bitch. Her?
She has been a problem for a while.
You can't help these people. The only thing that's going to help people is pain. They are like the child you keep telling not to touch that damn stove. Let them touch it. Let them touch it. Pain is a great teacher and an even better motivator.
Well, hello, sir.
What's up?
I'm over here. You looked over there.
I mirrored, so I looked the right way.
Mm-mm.
On my screen, I looked the right way.
Okay. In Pete Hexet's mind, he didn't make the right decisions.
Don't compare me to that fucking drunk. Don't do this shit. You starting off with the bullshit early. Don't piss me off. Today's already been enough. Don't piss me off.
I'm over here devouring peeps. Judge a mammy. Don't judge me, okay?
First of all, that's disgusting. I like
Judge your mammy. Don't judge me.
I've gone through so many years not knowing a damn person that ate peeps, and then I stumbled upon your ass. Here we go.
Here we are. Here the fuck we are.
Like, next thing you know, like I'm just because I be wondering like who the fuck is keeping Arby's in business? It's probably your ass too. You like the
I
meat?
don't.
No, you
I
like
don't.
the meats. You like the meats. You probably be eating them.
No.
You like
Arby's and Hardee's and all of these places. No, we're not eating that mess.
Hardee's
Not.
have a very delectable sausage biscuit in the morning.
I can count on one hand the amount of times I've been to Hardee's in my entire life.
They got a good sausage biscuit.
They got good sausages.
The breakfast item, yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you everybody for coming. Who's coming in? We love y'all. We're so glad to be here. Welcome to Red, Blue, and Black.
Blake.
Red, Blue, and Black.
Mm-hmm.
I am your host, L Teddy 27. Your other host here
I'm a guest.
is none other than I mean, the guy who y'all came to see is Kamz.
Nobody came to see me.
Everybody has come to see you.
If you say so. Come on now. I need one.
I need a nap too. It won't come anytime soon.
Yeah, I actually still have some stuff I need to do.
I got a lot to do when we get off of here.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't. Listen, it's a new week. It's a new batch of fuck shit and fuckery. So, yeah, ain't nothing to it but to do it. We have a packed program today, and let's just get started with our great opening. It's the vibe of the week. How we feeling? What's the vibes of the week, sir? What's on your mind this week?
Um, wow. I would say we are witnessing the fragility of the vault. And what I mean by the vault is we're seeing a collapse of safe spaces that we take for granted, whether it's the security of your social security number, the legal right to stay home that you've been for 10 to 20 years, the privacy of your vote, the vaults that hold our the most things that we consider most valuable, that we hold close to our hearts. They're being treated as obstacles to efficiency. We're seeing a government that wants to move fast, but in this speed, they're leaving, in my opinion, the most vulnerable people unprotected. That's the vibe for me. How would you describe it?
With the eroding of so many things and norms that we have come to expect, I just know at this point that these people are winning. And let me tell you why I say that. By them grabbing hold of all of the media, and that's not just the news, we're talking just media in general. They know that the electorate is stupid and are only going not going to believe their lying eyes, not going to believe the pain in their pockets and or their bodies. They're going to believe what is force fed to them on state sponsored media. And so many things slip through the cracks that people just think that they're not happening. And they don't get upset. There's no urgency. They don't get mad. They don't get upset. They just accept it. They just buckle down, bite the pillow, and take it.
Bohica.
That is the scariest part for me.
Would
Mhm.
you say it's apathy?
I don't even know if it's apathy. I think because apathy would require them to know and just not give a damn. I feel like they become robots in whatever you plug into their ear and and gets into their brains. That's what they regurgitate. They care about what they're told to care about. Whatever lie is being told to them or forced upon them, they'll believe the lie.
Mm.
Now look at this. Look at this comment right here. Look at this. Look at this.
What are we looking
Look at this. Why I got to be a hoe?
at? That's the part I was looking at. I'm like,
Why I got to be a hoe? I gotta be a hoe. I'm just asking. Hey Jeannie. Hey friend. Cha. I. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's my vibes of the week. That is what I ain't say nothing about Kamz being fine or not. I'm just asking why I got to be a hoe. I ain't said nothing about this. Ain't got nothing to do with
I
Kamz.
mean,
It got everything to do with me being called a hoe.
do you be do you engage in hoe activities? Do
No,
you have hoe
these people
tendencies?
can't name 3 people I
Are
had sex
hoes
with.
your
Can't.
friends? Are hoes your enemies?
These people can't name 3 people I had sex with.
Bougie B can.
She can't. She could name 2.
Mhm. Who are those two?
Debang and Fofo.
What about the Paramore down to the Columbia?
That don't count.
It does count. See how you see this should be talking about. This is what I'm talking
What are we talking about?
about.
Anyway, those are the vibes of the week. Let's dive. Let's get into the
And
main
into the
attraction.
politics of it all.
The main attraction.
Let's talk
And
about
try not to spike out while we're doing it.
it. Okay.
So, a big story this week is the fact that your information is all over the place. It's being sold to nefarious people all over the world on the dark web and in various places. So, a whistleblower alleges that a former Doge software engineer walked out with a thumb drive containing the social security numbers and birth dates of 500 plus million people, living and dead. Just put it on a thumb drive, walked out with it, and said, "Yeah, let me get that."
Said I need that.
I mean, this coupled with they have a actual former Doge staffer on tape interview saying, "Yeah, I just went through and Google search and searched all of the grants that said LGBTQ and just said we are deleting all of those just because I it came up in the search." Here we are. So now, what cams do you believe that they can and are doing with said information?
Well, let us take a step back, right? Let's look
Mhm.
at what Doge was presented to us as, correct?
Mm.
So let's talk about it. The Department of Government Efficiency, aka Doge, was sold to the public as a way to clean up government waste and inefficiency, right? But the whistleblower report to me is very illuminating because this is what we were saying the entire time. These people are not qualified. These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. These people, they were bypassing security clearances. I work for the feds. I had to undergo that background check. Yes, because it's like you need to know who the hell you hiring. But in their rush to disrupt the system, bypassing basic security protocols.
But
USBs are not even supposed to be enabled at all to prevent things like this. It is a data loss prevention control. Clearly, the control wasn't there if a single person can walk out with the keys to the kingdom.
But it gets worse, Cams. According to the whistleblower, it wasn't even like they were keeping it for themselves. They put it on the thumb drive and then gave it to their private sector employer.
Hmm.
Couldn't even keep it within the confines of the federal government. First of all, y'all shouldn't have had that access anyway. But Congress was asleep at the wheel and said nothing when you had unfettered
Well, I
access to
wouldn't
this
say
stuff.
Congress said nothing. Here's what happened because you got to remember this is also why they gutted the IGs because the IGs were already doing this work.
Well, that they did. Well,
They gutted the
Congress said nothing
IGs,
when they
but you
gutted
have
the
to
IGs
remove
too.
you have to
When they
remove all of those checks and balances to be able to get to this because basic
which is where
cybersecurity
Congress
is the
comes in.
principle of least privilege.
But
You
isn't
don't
that where
have all this
Congress came
access.
in? when they were supposed to not allow these people to fire all of the inspector generals?
Them hoes been ain't doing their job though. So are we surprised by this?
Oh, then there's
They just there
that.
for a fucking paycheck. But like, let's talk about the black impact, right? Let's talk about how this is gonna impact us, because that's what we're here for, right? This is
We
the
are.
analysis that people want to hear. So when we talk about the black impact, let's talk about it from a financial perspective first. For many people in our community, your credit score is your only ticket to get a home, to get a car. If a malicious actor uses your social security number to rack up debt, you don't have a team of lawyers to fix it. It is expensive trying to fight this stuff off, especially if you're not on top of your credit. Mine is locked until I need to apply for something, for instance. So then there's also like we talk about the financial piece of it too, but like there's also a wealth gap. Wealthy people have identity theft insurance. They automatically have it. They have a team of people that look at this round the clock. They have professional bankers.
Does that make me wealthy if I have identity theft insurance?
Yes, but we know you're paid.
No, I'm not.
So I just know this from working in banking when we would have to deal with people saying that it was identity theft. I just feel like black faces, often guilty until proven innocent while you're trying to dispute fraudulent charges. Like there's this automatic distrust, like, oh, clearly you did it. Like it's a time sink and it's a money sink. There's also, I just think it's systemic sabotage. Like when you have released 500 million plus records, that's not a coincidence. I think it's a failure to protect the very people that the government is supposed to protect. So Doge was, it's like they wanted to say that the government didn't work, right? And Doge was a tautology to show that government does not work. They want to prove that government is the problem, but they're in the government. Don't get it, but whatever. So
But
to Diamond Pearl Jim's point, like she doesn't answer like the phone or anything, like without looking at the caller ID. Predatory targeting. When you have that much information, you could target zip codes with lower incomes. That data breach could give predators a gold mine of information to target elderly people and people that are very young getting started off in their lives.
I think another thing that we're not thinking about is the part of them stealing the socials of dead people. And what I mean by that is, you know how these people do. They get two and three social security numbers. Now they have numerous, credit cards. They got
You act like I didn't work
branded
at Wells Fargo.
credit. Huh?
You act like I didn't work at Wells Fargo.
No, I'm saying that's a part of the
I
black
mean, you do
impact on black
recall I
people.
was there when they were doing that very illegal activity of
But
opening
the
up.
point that I'm making is that's also part of the impact on black people. Because I'd love to see how many of the dead people whose social security numbers that they have look like you and I. I'd love to see that.
I mean, I also think it's a trust factor too, right? That we're not like, if the government can't keep this sensitive stuff safe, how can we trust these people to manage our taxpayer dollars? And we see it in the actions that are going on now. We have billions and trillions upon dollars to go bomb other places, to give to other countries. Meanwhile, we're sitting here with crumbling damn infrastructure, underfunded schools. It's just like, what are we really doing for the average American citizen? I don't trust these folks.
Again, as I stated at the top of the episode, the biggest problem is that legacy media is not talking about this and refuses to talk about this. So the electorate acts as if this didn't happen, acts as if there aren't people in this country and across the globe buying and selling all of this information. Even prior to the this administration taking office, remember there was that reported data breach that happened back in 2024.
Look, I just want to say this. I was in the OPM breach back in 2011, and I've had to have identity theft protection ever since then. I'm still mad about the OPM breach.
I will say, check when you do next time you do open enrollment. Check your open enrollment. They usually offer some most jobs offer some form of identity theft that you can pay. Now you might pay a few dollars extra per pay period, but I promise you, when you become a victim, I've been a victim of identity theft more times than I can imagine, and that's because as you know I do a lot of traveling, so it makes me vulnerable to that. But I promise you, I call the people every time and they say no problem, and my stuff is taken care of. But I also know people that got to fight with the bank to maybe get their money back. Maybe they will, maybe they don't, and that comes after how many months of investigations and filling out police reports and having them go through it. It's just such a hassle. Um, and here's the other part. You know, you could be like those of us who do all we can to try to get decent credit, and then you have somebody that steals your identity, and now they go ham.
What took
Yep.
years to build,
Hmm.
weeks it can be dismantled. Weeks.
Yep. Yep. Hmm. And now, after they did all of their dirty work and nefarious work, see, this is what should be being investigated by true and real journalism. Because I love how, after y'all did all of this fuck shit, after y'all stole people's information, now they're like, oh, we're just going to leave and shut down Doge now. Because the deal was done, mission accomplished. So now they get to walk away unscathed, not an indictment the first. Nobody's saying anything.
They
I,
just
we
stayed off into the night.
we dare you to even mention this on the news. We're going to browbeat any outlet that writes a story about this. Oh yeah, we want no parts of this. Oh, you're going to try to talk about this? Let's wage a war. Oh, let's invade another country. Oh, let's do something else that's going to steal the news cycle, all the while under the cloak of dark hell, not even under the cloak
It
of
was in broad
darkness.
daylight. It was in
In
broad daylight.
broad day sun, we're gonna do this because we know you're not paying attention. And nobody's
I don't even
meant
think
to pay
it's
attention.
not paying attention. I just think that the mainstream media is obsessed with the horse race. They want to who's winning the legal battle, how much is Doge saving. They frame like everything as if it's like a win or a loss for specific parties, but they are also focusing on the process a lot. They ignore the people, they ignore the impact. So instead of us talking about identity theft, they'll be like, oh, data management issues. They sanitize a lot of the things. It's like they don't say very real things, or they'll talk about like legal standing in the story that we'll talk about next, and they're not talking about the human impact of what that means if legal standing is established, right? It's just like you called people insurgents when I was in Afghanistan. What is an insurgent? You can't connect that readily to a person. Or they were like, "Oh, we hit enemy non-combatants." What does that mean? What do you mean enemy non-combatant? So they use very specific and intentional language so that people are divorced and disconnected from what's really going on as well. Like it doesn't help. If you go back and look at a lot of the coverage from stories, it's like, that's not really what happened, but you can't readily connect to it because the language, how things are phrased, how the mainstream media has now become the gatekeeper and to me an arm of propaganda.
I think at this point we have to acknowledge that there has been irreparable damage.
It was a good run while it lasted.
Yeah. Like there is legitimately irreparable damage to every lever of government that there is.
I also
And
think that it shows that it was built upon a house of cards because norms were violated. Laws weren't necessarily violated, norms were violated, and that's what got us here. A gentleman's handshake does not a good foundation for governance make.
well, laws were violated when they started firing IGs. Laws were absolutely violated, and they didn't give a damn.
That's not what
And
the Supreme
what?
Court said.
I'm sorry.
That's not what the Supreme Court said.
Oh no, no, no. Because here's what happens: you break the law, and then you go and get the law changed to accommodate your criminality.
We know that's the only reason he ran. The only reason he ran this time was because he did not want to get thrown behind bars. We all know that.
And then you
But it's not the people
prosecute,
for voting for him again. Like
and
he
then you prosecute and persecute the people who said that we need to indict or we need to uphold the law. Those are the people who you then
either we're a
indict
nation
and
of
persecute.
laws or we are not, because one cannot be above the laws. But I've told you what this whole the small ruling class, these billionaires that are just overly involved in politics, right? They want to be protected by the law, but they do not want to be bound by it.
Again, the fourth, the fourth branch of government is going to have to step up. They are. The fourth branch of government is going to have to step up. And what they're banking on is just like Article 2 has been able to run roughshod over Article 1 and Article 3, right?
Hmm.
They already are prepared to run roughshod over the fourth branch of government, which is the people.
I mean, ultimately, we have to hold them accountable. But as we'll talk about in a later story, the way that we hold politicians accountable, if we have no trust in that process, then it just falls apart.
Well, that's what they're banking on. They're absolutely banking on us having no. They polluted the system for the purpose of forcing everybody to say, "I don't trust the system." They, it would be like you having a glass of clean water, them putting some dookie in the water and stirring it up, and now them saying, "Oh, it looks like the glass of water is dirty." Yeah, bitch, you dirtied the water. And then saying, "Up, there's no other water. Only water you have to drink is what's in this cup. The water done been turned off. Only thing we have is what's left in this cup." The same cup where these bitches done put the dookie in and stirred it around and said, "But you shouldn't trust that water." Yeah, because we watched you dirty sully the water. And now you're telling us that's the only water that we have to drink.
We have a question in the chat.
We have to do what we have to do at the ballot box because they they know that the electorate is not about that life. And what I mean by about that life, we're never going to have an Arab Spring here over in this country. We don't have the backbone for that. There's going to be no overthrowing of anything. We don't have the backbone for that. Now, the only thing that we do have the backbone for, they're stealing it. They've already probably stolen it. These people have prepared themselves to never leave office. And if that means they have to steal and they have to cheat, they will do that.
And I also think that we need to realize that elections are not this end all be all. There are several countries where, with authoritarian regimes, where they have elections. The incumbent always wins. Either you have free and fair elections or you don't. But ultimately, the elections were the point of is the only way you can hold some of these people accountable. But you also see over the past, I would say, 8 years, due to unpopular votes, people just not having town halls, people not interacting with their constituents. But then it's on us as the voters to educate ourselves. And it's not just these big races that matter, the local elections matter as well. Like, we need to be an informed population because informed people make informed decisions.
But then the problem is too. I'm looking at some of these voter tallies in these primaries, and it went exactly as I thought it would go, which goes back to my overarching point of this live. You saw some of the big races like the Jasmine Crockett races where there were big turnouts, but look at Arkansas's primary where they had less than 10% of minorities that came out to vote in that primary. Look at Mississippi. I think I was looking at something that said Mississippi had like 7.5% of the black population went out to vote. Registered black voters went out to vote. 7.5%. And so they're
What do you think drives that, though?
I think what drives that is
what do
they
you think
are
drives
forced into apathy. They're told not just by the Republican Party, even by the Democratic Party that, oh, you live in this red state. We're not, the Dems say, we're not even going to spend money over there. It doesn't matter. They're going to get what they want anyway. They're going to win. So if you're telling me preemptively that nothing that we do here is going to make any difference, then why people are trying to go make money? People are trying to keep their lights on. People are trying to stay in their homes. We have a bad economy right now. So if you're telling me I need to go out of my way to do all of this and it's not going to make a difference, and I might be able to be home, be at work, I should say, try to make sure I make money, then I'm going to choose the latter. And so I think that this is forced apathy from both sides of the aisle, and that's so unfortunate. And you hear stuff, people say stuff like, and we done segue into the next story. I guess we should save this for when we get to that part of it because we got a lot to say about that. But that's where I think it comes from.
I mean, I've always experienced, when you're talking about primary voting and all of this, most people just, I just vote for whoever wins in November. That's most people's like mentality because there's so much other stuff going on. Because to your point, I think people are focused on survival,
Hmm.
but some of it is also on the parties. Like, if you don't put somebody out there that is an exciting candidate that is speaking to the issues of that community, where they were like, this person sees me, this person understands my struggles, they want to change my lot in life. Let me go to this ballot box and do what I need to do.
Let me hit. I'll save it for when we get. Let me write
We
this
can, we
down.
can save it. We can save it. We can
I'm
save
gonna
it.
save this for when we get to that story. Um, I'm writing down my comment.
Please do, because we are gonna we're gonna bring back voting again. Don't worry. So we gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back.
All right. Um, anything else on our main topic of the day? Because we don't exhausted that. I'll say no. We do have some other big stories. Another one is, um, I know I spoke on Run Your Mouth last week about the fact that a federal judge, an appellate judge, had adjudicated that the Trump administration had to uh, uh, um, allow TPS to continue for Haitian immigrants while the case was being adjudicated through the courts, and that they couldn't ceremoniously revoke TPS status for Haitian immigrants while it was in the courts. Well, and that was a little bit of good news. Well, we knew that they would not stop. So the administration yesterday went to the Supreme Court and asked the Supreme Court to pause that same ruling by that federal judge in Washington D.C. that barred the government from ending the TPS program that allows Haitians to remain in the United States temporarily. So we have that going on. Why is that important to us as Black people? I'm glad you asked. One, because they want to be able to do with the Haitians, and they have already started that. I've counted at least 3 Haitian immigrants that have died in ICE custody already. At least 3 that I know of. But um, to an ICE official, Kamz and I could very well be Haitian. Very well. Kamz and I could be Haitian as far as they know and are concerned. And we know that the Supreme Court has given these people the right to racially profile people. The Supreme Court.
You mean the Kavanaugh stops?
Yes, 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 yeah, yeah.
Call it what it is. Call it what it is. The Kavanaugh stop. I also would like to add to this. It's more than just Haiti that this is going to impact. I do want to quickly go through these list of countries before we pivot back to the Haitian conversation.
Mm-hmm.
El Salvador is valid through September of this year. Lebanon is valid through May of this year. Sudan and Ukraine are valid through October of this year. Somalia, their current designation is supposed to end this month, but a federal lawsuit was filed 2 days ago to block the termination. Venezuela was set for termination in early 2025, but the Ninth Circuit ruling upheld a block on that termination. Beneficiaries have work permits that are valid through October of this year. Burma, Ethiopia, South Sudan, they were scheduled for termination in January and February, but that is paused by court orders. Syria is currently paused per court order as of March of this year. Now, the ones that have recently terminated or are contested are Nepal, Honduras, Nicaragua, Afghanistan, and Cameroon. So I just want you to think about what these people look like when I mention these countries. I just want you to think about that. I want you to think about the regions that this is in. There's only one European country on here. Like, I think that's intentional. But to continue our conversation, let's pivot back.
We know what this is about.
Dude.
And I think that they are they are overplaying their hands. You got 2 in a possible, and you done told your partner you got a solid 5. You got 2 in a possible, but you tell your partner, "Oh, I got 5." You didn't even tell your partner bored. You tell your partner, "By myself, I got 5, partner." Your partner sitting over there looking, "Well, shoot, I got 3 in a possible. Let's go 8 then." Yeah, let's go 8. Knowing good and hell well, y'all might get 5. If you got 2 in a possible, your partner got 3 in a possible. That's 5, maybe 6. But you done said, "Let's go 8." Because you banking on you overplaying your hand.
And I think that when we say the cruelty is the point, we know that the temporary protected status, aka TPS, it's a humanitarian program for people whose home countries are too dangerous to return to for a multitude of reasons. Um, and it's not that this administration is just letting it lapse, the TPS status, right? They're aggressively fighting for it through the judicial system. So to me, it's a litmus test. Is the Supreme Court going to allow this administration to ignore humanitarian traditions?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what the litmus test is to me. I'm not going to say what the outcome is because I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a soothsayer. I don't know. I don't know because
Can I
this
move to
Robert
Japan and get temporary
this
protected
Robert
status for being
Ford
an American?
is
Can I get
inconsistent.
can I get TPS status for being an American? Can I move over to Japan or somewhere? Because I need TPS
I don't think you want to
for
go over there with
being an American.
that imperialist they got as the prime minister. I don't think you want to
Yeah,
go
they
over
do
there.
have that new chick. I might not want to go over there. Yeah, I forgot that new
So
chick. Yeah, she's a piece of work.
when we think about the black impact of like this, right? To me, it feels like targeted enforcement. Like while many groups are going through this, and that's why I wanted to give that context with the countries that are also going through this. To me, it feels like you're making a public example of the Haitians. And I remember it was on a run your mouth. They was lassoing Haitians. I
Mhm.
distinctly remember that.
That was under the Biden
I
administration.
distinctly remember that. And so,
While the freaking press secretary was a Haitian American, her damn self.
mhm. See, come on. The memory she be memorizing. So to me, it feels like it's a specific signaling that you are unwelcome. You and people that look like you are not a part of this American fabric. You are other. We don't know
Well,
what you are, but you ain't one of us.
we know
We'll
that when
put
he
you over
said,
there.
I'm only giving protected status to Afrikaners, the white Africans in South Africa.
And luckily, they're struggling in America, so that's great. But it's also a vector of economic erasure, right? Because just because somebody's a TPS holder, that doesn't mean that they're not an essential worker. That doesn't mean that they're not a business owner or a homeowner. So removing them just doesn't hurt the families. It also destabilizes local economies in
And that
places like
that
your
was what
Floridas, in places like your New Yorks. And it's like, is that the intent?
there are huge, and I'm just since we're talking about the Haitians, I know in Canada there's a huge Haitian population in Canada, huge Haitian population in New York. There's even a burgeoning Haitian population over in Dallas area. They have a whole small community that's quickly growing over there. Needless to say, you know, uh, Miami has the largest Haitian population outside of the country of Haiti itself. So,
Yeah.
and the greater South Florida area, because a lot of them, navigate up to Broward and Palm Beach. So the economic impact that could be had, those are millions of dollars that come into those respective communities. Those are actual workers and people that are doing things. And I ain't just talking about people that are out there picking out there in the farms, because that's always what they want to reduce the immigrant population to. Oh, they're out in the fields picking fruit, or they're working as housekeepers in the hospitality industry. No, many of these people are professionals. Many of these people are business owners. Many of these people have very positive impacts on the economy of those local communities. They are heavily vested in and embedded in the fabric of those respective communities. And so what they do is, when they try to debase these people as as being a subcaste system. Oh, those are just the people who we have out there working the fields, or we have them in housekeeping, or those are the construction workers that we pick up outside of Lowe's or Home Depots. You try to diminish who they are and their impact on our society, on our economy, and what it's almost like you're making them subhuman. And we know full well as black people, we've been the victims of that shit for centuries now.
And I think that also they're saying the quiet part out loud, where they're saying that this capitalistic system that we have in America, it doesn't function unless we can exploit classes of people.
Mm.
That's what they're saying, and they don't even realize that's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't work unless we could literally exploit
Mm-hmm.
people's labor.
Yep.
And I think another aspect to the TPS argument too is we have to realize some of these people have been here for 10, 20 years, right? And now they're in limbo. Like, imagine being somewhere 10, 20 years and now like you wake up and your legal status could be gone on a random Tuesday. Like, I think that type of mental stress, like, you're not focused on like really planting roots here or like trying to invest in your local community as much as you are like, let me hedge my bets because I don't know, I might not be here. So what do I need to do to make sure I'm safe wherever I land my feet? Because we know that this administration love to send people to places they've never been or lived.
I think the other seldom spoken of part of countries that have TPS status is 99 times out of 100, their country is in political upheaval
Hmm.
because of some shit that we did, because of our influence in what they have going on. Because of our influence, we caused the issues that are going on in those respective countries. Only and so when these countries these individuals may receive this, it's at least trying to say, hey, it's at least some type of acknowledgement to, yeah, we did kind of do that. Let's, try to give you a solid, yeah, you can come over here and we can help try to make it a little bit better. But they're not even trying to do that anymore. They are they're believing the lie that America and these yet to be United States had nothing to do with all of the fuckery and fuck shit that's going on in most of these countries that your president termed shithole countries. Let's not forget what the United States and all of Europe did to Africa. Let's not forget, because those many of those African
Are still doing to Africa.
governments that we have there that have horrible dictators, horrible authoritarians, are directly result of the imperialism and colonialism that took place in Europe and these yet to be United States of America.
You're not wrong. I mean, a lot of our immigration issues stem from blowback, from regime change, literally arming rebels that eventually took over the country. It's
Sound like something that's happening right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's just like a lot of these issues we destabilize entire regions, and it would be in our economic interest to have stable regions across the world. It's in everyone's economic interest. Because if you want to do business in foreign places, you want it to have a stable system of laws. You want it to have a stable government. But they want to put up these puppet governments that just do whatever, and eventually those become unpopular with the people. Then things happen, and then oh no, now look, it's a problem of our own creation. Like it's been like this for decades, and you have these arrogant people that refuse to learn from history. That's really what it is. I don't think we send our best and brightest into government. I don't.
Well, they're learning from the history that they're given. Don't forget, we are a country that rewrites history and writes our own history. Similar to how the Jewish people rewrote their own history when they wrote the Bible and told these false narratives about what the people did back then. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
But then, I also want to add one more thing too while we're on this story. It's also a signal of zero tolerance, where I feel like if you are a black migrant, a black immigrant, a black person that is fleeing their country due to violence, whatever the situation may be, no matter it just to me it screams no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you contribute, it'll never be good enough, and you'll always be considered temporary. Like, and it's unfortunate because Haiti's been through enough. The West has done a lot to Haiti. The fact that they had to pay France back was the biggest insult. And I just think that this is just added on top of it. Like, I would like Haiti to have a break eventually, one day. Like, I actually would love to see a prospering Haiti, but maybe that's not in some people's economic interest, so they ensure that it does not happen.
Mm. We'll see. We'll see.
But I don't know with this damn Supreme Court, so I'm gonna just throw it out right there because there's a lot of there aren't wings anymore. Because like you used to be able to reliably predict how some people were gonna vote. Even the MAGA people don't even get along with how they be coming to what with concurring opinions. You got Jackson beefing with Kagan, so we don't know how this shit's gonna go. Let's just be for real. We don't know. We can make some educated guesses, but with people with all them goddamn egos, we don't fucking know. It's upsetting, but we're relying on a co-opted judicial system to save us. I think we're already fucked.
Yeah, fucked royally. Didn't even bother to put lube, city lube, anything.
No,
I
they,
mean,
they got lube. It's the cheap stuff that burns.
no, 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 no. They ain't even bother to give me the city lube. You know,
No, they gave you the cheap stuff that burns because the pain is the point.
I don't see how people use that hot stuff. The ones that the heated lube, like that stuff starts to burn after a while, especially for the bottom. God. Anyway, um, everybody want to call me tonight? So let's segue into what we said we were going to talk about earlier, which
Yes,
is
I was excited
uh,
when I found this one.
voter confidence. So a new PBS NPR Marist poll shows confidence in fair elections has plummeted. Only 63% of black people believe their local elections will be run fairly. Yeah, we have a problem.
Houston did
Actually,
have a
Dallas. It was
problem.
Dallas.
Dallas did
Dallas
have a
we have a
problem.
problem. Hmm.
And I just think that like when the media is kind of framing it as, oh, it's voter apathy, right? When I would argue, remember we talked about the vault earlier, all these things that we hold to be valuable, we hold it close to our chest. I think it's a reaction to seeing that vault that we thought the ballot box was being tampered with through gerrymandering, through these restrictive laws. Look at what they're trying to do with the Save Act. They're trying to ram the Save Act through. They're trying to ram it through, and they ain't got the votes.
I wonder. Here's my question. This is a real question. They say that the poll, the survey was done March 2nd through March 4th,
Hmm.
conveniently while the very first primary of this year is taking place. Let's unpack what happened here.
Let's
You
open.
have the very first primary, right?
Hmm.
That is to take place. Arkansas, North Carolina, Texas.
Hmm.
Texas arguably had the most eyes on it. Everybody was watching that Senate race.
Yes.
those Senate primaries. And what did we do? They literally had record turnout for primary
Hmm.
in Texas. Record turnout. The black turnout was record turnout. The overall turnout was record turnout in the great state of Texas. Hell, Jasmine Crockett, who lost, got over 1 million votes. You plug her anywhere else in the country.
And like, didn't she get more votes than Alder did when he ran
Yes.
in the Senate?
You,
Yeah.
yes.
So
You
they
plug
both
her anywhere
Alder
else in
did.
America and she wins. Now, what did we have? Fuck shit and fuckery,
Foolish.
malfeasance, foolery, where scores of mainly black people in Dallas were disenfranchised, where you had a judge and a court that said you can stay open till 9 o'clock, only for the Texas Supreme Court, who received paperwork from the sitting attorney general, who
Was also
was
on the ballot.
running in the goddamn election and knew that his opponent was from the greater Dallas area, to go in and say, yeah, we don't want all of that. And the Supreme Court, Texas Supreme Court, sided with him. When you couple that, Kamz, when you couple the fact that there was direct voter suppression, to the fact that, and I've mentioned this on my channel, y'all Dems are trying to force feed pasty white boy who still hasn't acknowledged the fact that all of these people were disenfranchised. He still has not acknowledged that. You didn't expect people to say, yeah, let me go out here in November and vote because this is going to go right. You're really expecting that? And what did that do? They made sure that the voter suppression in Texas made headlines everywhere. Why? Because then that sends the message to minority voters in big blue voting centers across the country. We're here for the fuck shit. Your vote probably won't be counted. We are going to make it more difficult. You are going to have problems. This shit is real. And what do people do? They say, I ain't got time for this fuck shit. I'm not doing that. So they've set this
That was
up.
my first point too, to be honest. Like the voter exhaustion of it all. Let's go all the way back to fucking Ohio, right? Remember when Ohio had the maps? Do you know
Mm-hmm.
how long it took Ohio to actually come up with a map that satisfied the court order? 500 fucking days. Over 500 fucking days for them to actually. They'd already had the election. They had already had a sitting representative. Did all of that. Oh, it's too close to the election, for us to change the map. Fuck it. We're just gonna go with this map, right? And it was like there wasn't a ton of outrage about it, and like, oh, we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want to do. But like when you fight for a map to be fair, then the state says fuck the court order. It creates a feeling of why bother, and to be honest, that feeling is a form of psychological voter suppression.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
intentional. It's intentional because you go, well, fuck it. Why? They're just gonna do whatever they want to do anyway. But the point is to not get you to vote. That's the point. So it's frustrating to me because it's like people are like, my vote means nothing. Why should I get out there and vote? They would not fight so fucking hard to keep your ass at home if your vote didn't matter. Why do you think they're trying to pass the SAVE Act? Because they want to add more hoops to get you to vote. They want to add more hoops. There was a time where we could not go to the ballot box and be safe. People died for this shit. Like I continue to get my ass up because I know the history behind it. People would not be fighting so hard for you to not do something if there weren't an element of fear to it. Because they fear that accountability. Because you offer me nothing in terms of your platform, in terms of your policies, in terms of your messaging. So you know it's going to be a fuck no for me. So you want to prevent people like me from being able to vote. You want to be able to choose your voters. That's not how this shit works. That's not how the game works. But they're trying to change the rules And if they can cause enough people to feel disaffected and disenfranchised, they just don't show the fuck up. Mission accomplished. That's the goal. But you can't get through to some people about it. Like, well, fuck it. I've been waiting out here for 2 hours. The line still ain't damn moving. Fuck it. And then they get out of line. Now you can't get back in line. You're done. Georgia, it's hot as hell. You wait in this line. No, you can't give these people water. Because they want you to get out of line. They want you to not be able to vote. Like, your vote is so fucking powerful. That's why these people are constantly trying to attack it. That's constant why they're trying to add these indirect poll taxes. Like,
Yep.
And it's like, with them trying to pass the SAVE Act, they're gonna fuck their own voters over. Because a lot of Americans do not have no fucking passports. And most people that own a passport, they're in urban centers. They don't stay in the damn rural areas. They're also not thinking about the biggest voting bloc that's going to be impacted by this SAVE Act stuff. White women.
I have no sympathy for white women.
White women.
None.
I'm not saying that you need to have sympathy for it. What I need you to acknowledge is this is a huge demographic that swings elections, whether or not we like it.
No, those bitches swing elections for the fucking dictators every fucking time. These same whores are the same ones who vote for their own oppression because they got some BDSM sadomasochist kind of shit going on. I just don't understand these whores. And then they want to browbeat every other minority. They want to tell us we are the worst people on earth and how these people shouldn't have voted. Meanwhile, across town, y'all ignore the fact that these mayonnaise mamas every fucking election cycle go over here and vote for these fucktards. Every single time. Every single time.
I didn't know we were going to have a sugar spike moment. My apologies for bringing that even up. But I do want to also say this for those people that feel like, what's the point? Why does it matter? I think we have to shift the narrative from voting for someone to save us, and we got to vote in self-defense. Because if you stop believing that voting works, you stop showing up, that allows politicians to now go, we don't have to care about any of their needs for housing, education, justice reform, because they're not going to fucking show up. They're not a reliable voting bloc, so why do we need to do anything for them? But I also think we need to stop having blind loyalty when we're not getting shit out of the deal. You need to give me something.
I said this last week. I said
for money for your campaign. What are you doing for me? What did Janet Jackson say?
She said, "What have you done for me lately?" You know, people make a lot of bones about the uncommitted movement and the fact that how dare these people be one issue voters. And it looks like to me, black voters, we need to turn into some one issue voters and force these hoes to start listening to our demands.
Period. Like, the way that I'm looking at voting this next cycle, because I'm gonna be honest, I mean, I'm in Minnesota. Like, I'm not liking what the party's doing locally.
You heard they got somebody that's running against Ilhan.
I ain't in her district, so they always have somebody running against her though. They always, and it's always out of state money that comes into those elections. Let's just call it what it is. It's out of state dark money. Just like with Tally Knackle down there in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with Tally Knackle.
Y'all want me to vote for some? Well, I ain't got to vote for him, but y'all want people to vote for somebody who Miriam Edelson is backing. That's what we're doing.
Man, his best friend run the damn pack that was giving the super PAC that was getting all the damn money. So I don't have to. Yeah, your friend does. Your bestie. Your bestie does. But that's who they wanted. Okay, give the people what they want. And then when black people are now on social media saying, "Well, what's in it for me?
Exactly.
We need to vote, but
Now,
it don't matter. Well, where the
right.
fuck was this
Now y'all
energy for here?
browbeating black people.
Where the
Now
fuck
y'all
was the energy?
browbeating us.
No, you want our damn labor, you want our damn vote, but you're not giving us anything in economic outcomes, policy outcomes. What's in it for me?
Shout out to Andrew Gillum. I was listening to Native Land last week, and a lot of times I disagree with him. But
I can't listen to it, and it's
but
some person on there, but we don't even need to get into that shit right now.
he said something that I do want to repeat that I agree with. He was specifically talking about Jasmine, but I think this a point applies to black people in general. We're only useful to them when we're in service of them.
Mm,
We're only useful to
mm.
these people when we're of service to them. That's it. That's all.
We want your labor, but not your leadership. Thank you.
So now what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to get Jasmine to drum up and whip up all of the black votes behind James Tallarico and then toss her to the side. If I'm her, I'm looking at them like, hell no, that's his job, not mine. I don't
I
owe
mean,
that bitch
let's
nothing.
also look into the leadership run that Jasmine Crockett had, and you know they blocked and stymied her
Mm,
because it wasn't her time. It wasn't her turn yet, right? Remember who won?
mm.
What what Ed?
Talking to St. Peter.
Oh, okay. The fuck I thought.
Mm.
If I was her, I wouldn't shit. I don't give a damn.
You know,
I gave a gracious concession speech. I told my supporters to support his ass. But if you think I'm gonna be out here stumping,
Sam, it was like my second time watching since Tiffany left. It's just not the same without Tiffany. I ain't gonna hold you. When Bakari came on, and I actually like Bakari by himself, but when Bakari came on, it went to hell in a handbasket. I'm sorry.
I wasn't a big fan of Tiffany. But that's just me.
But Tiffany left once Tiffany left, and not that people always agree with Tiffany, but it was the balance of the show and how there was this balance between the three of them that worked. And when you throw a monkey wrench in there, it just doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Anyway, but I just in terms of what I wrote down, I wrote down. I said, here's what's going to have to happen.
Come on.
More people are going to have to die, and
Hmm.
there's going to have to be a lot more suffering.
What did I tell you? What's in the intro? What did I say about pain? It's a great teacher, even better motivator.
Way more people are going to have to die. This shit is going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
A hard head makes for a soft ass. And some of these voters need to have very soft asses so that they make the best.
Am I still on? Can y'all still hear me? Or is Cam's frozen? Am I frozen? Can y'all hear me? Am I frozen? Okay, oh, y'all hear me? Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Can y'all hear me? I didn't know if it was me. I was like, oh, am I frozen? Okay. Cam's will be back. But yeah, unfortunately, there's gonna be a lot more suffering. There's gonna be a lot more people just don't seem to be upset enough. People don't seem to be mad enough yet. People don't seem to be angry enough. And in the same way, now this is gonna come out real harsh. Just brace yourself for what I'm about to say. In the same way that MAGA nuts have galvanized themselves behind the likes of a Charlie Kirk. My fear is that there's going to have to be someone of that notoriety or significance. And I hate to have to say this, but there probably is going to have to be somebody of that notoriety or significance that may have to leave here on the other side that forces people to stop and say, hey, we have a problem. Hey, we got to fix this. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and that's scary. I That's scary. Um, there's a lot of people that stand to lose a whole lot. But people just want to be able to go on with life and act as if there's nothing. Uh, um, as long as I can go to work every day, long as I can go to the club once a week, long as I can do this and do that, I'll be all right. I'll make it. And that's not a good recipe for anybody. It's not a winning recipe. Not a winning recipe at all. I don't know what Cam's got going on. Let me text him. Make sure he's good over there. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, that's the long and short of it. Um, the next thing we had a couple quick hits that we're supposed to do. I texted Cam to see make sure he was good over there. Um, the first quick hit. Now it's time for our quick hits. The first quick hit is Jim Clyburn. Yes, that Jim Clyburn at the age of 85 has announced he's running for reelection. It'll be his 18th term. It'll be his 18th term. Now, he was considering not running because he's only been in the House 33 plus years, okay? He was considering not running and allowing his daughter to run. What's his daughter name? I had the daughter name. Uh, uh, um, Hold on, I get y'all. His daughter's name is Mignon Clyburn. That's her. And she was no, not her. Yeah, or was it Jennifer? Hold on. It was Jennifer. It wasn't the other. It wasn't that daughter. It was Jennifer. It was Jennifer Clyburn Reed, not Mignon. It was Jennifer. It's the middle daughter. Mignon is the oldest daughter. I think she's the oldest daughter. Um, but Jennifer Clyburn Reed, she's the one. She's the one that's running. Hmm. So yeah, that's the old. Mignon is the oldest daughter. But Jennifer Clyburn Reed was going to run. He was contemplating giving up his seat to not running and letting her run for that seat. He said, "Nah, I'm 85 now." Jennifer Jennifer is ain't no spring chicken either. You know what I'm saying? She's a she taught for 28 years. Again, she taught for 28 years. Well, he's running again. And the fact that he's running again is beyond my level of comprehension. There's Kamz. You ready, sir? Hello, sir.
Fuck Xfinity.
What? Everything good over there?
Fuck Xfinity. That's a statement.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Sorry.
We were on Jim Clyburn running.
What is he? 85.
He is.
So this is what I want to talk about. I know they call him a kingmaker, but I think the question that we have to ask ourselves, not only as voters but as a black community, if holding on to power for 30 plus years prevents new black leaders from rising, new black leaders that are more attuned to the struggles of their contemporaries, because this motherfucker's old as hell. So I need them to start talking about like succession versus stability, because stability to me means continuing to do the same shit we've been doing, business as usual. I'm tired of these people being in the pens, still trying to collect this government check. You get off your mama's titty after a while. It needs to be true of the goddamn taxpayer teat. Enough. Go the fuck home. Get you a goddamn hobby. Let it go. Because that shit you pulled in South Carolina to keep your motherfucking seat, I ain't forgot you. Now, his daughter, great FCC commissioner. I will say that. She was good at her job.
I thought that was the older daughter, Mignon.
Yeah, Mignon, but she was good.
But she wasn't the one that was running. It's the middle daughter that was running.
I ain't
But
said the middle daughter. I wanted to say something good came from his loins, and that was her.
Oh.
She
But
did
you
a
know,
good
the
job.
middle daughter is all right too. She was a teacher for 28 years.
I don't know nothing about her.
And then she worked at University of South Carolina.
I don't know nothing about that. All I know is when I was in a different part of my career, Miss Clyburn as commissioner, she was doing the people's work. And I feel like sometimes when you be in office for this long, you stop doing the people's work and you too focused on getting more power, getting more money off the taxpayers. Like, government service is just that. It's something that you should volunteer to do and then get your ass the fuck on. This ain't no damn career. This ain't no fucking career. Okay? You're not finna do this from the womb to the motherfucking tomb. Take your ass home. We already got people not showing up for votes for months because they in a goddamn nursing home, so we're still collecting the goddamn paycheck. Absolutely the fuck not. When you not cutting it no more, when you not A1 since day one, go the fuck home. Okay? Stop voting on shit that you fundamentally do not understand. That's why these tech laws don't make no goddamn sense. Because you old motherfuckers do not understand shit. Go home. And I mean the nursing home when I say go home.
Listen, you heard it in the intro. These people should be in Shady Pines.
Don't even put them in Shady Pines. Put them in the damn ICE facility where they had the motherfuckers locked up at. Put them in the ICE facility. That's where you need to fucking go. If you don't want to go, we're going to put you in there. We're going to detain you for the preservation of our American democracy. You need to fucking go.
You know,
Some of these people been in the Senate since before I was fucking born. Go home.
I am purposely not saying a whole lot because you know I will get up here and dog walk Jim Clyburn. I have many times. And I'm trying to keep it cute and not dog walk his ass. Because Jim Clyburn at this point is everything wrong with the Democratic Party. Moving on. In terms of ICE, since you brought ICE up, um, there is an Egyptian family. Um, this it's an Egyptian family of six, an Egyptian mother and her five children. They have been in an ICE facility over there in Dilley, Texas, for 9 months.
That's a whole damn pregnancy.
Under a federal 1997 settlement agreement, parents and children cannot can generally not be imprisoned for more than 20 days in immigration jails. And this has been going on for 9 months. The children wrote and Camden, I pulled up, we have letters and stuff from the children, wrote beautiful letters. I mean, as beautiful as you can talk, as they can be, talking about the atrocities of what they experienced, in food that's not edible, not being able to get medical treatment. Like they said that they were giving these people food that had worms crawling all in it and stuff.
And I think that it speaks to the mindset behind this. It's deterrence by cruelty. If we make it so miserable for your ass, it's gonna get around and other motherfuckers are not gonna wanna come. If you make it miserable enough, like they don't wanna come. And I feel like what we're really kind of hand waving away, and this is what pisses me off. We have a human rights crisis happening on American soil, but then we want to be duplicitous enough to strike another country about human rights abuses going on over there?
No,
What the fuck are we talking about?
what's so maddening is they were so pious and self-righteous to simultaneously vilify Iran for killing their protesters, people who were protesting their
What the fuck are they
government,
doing in
all
Minneapolis?
the while murdering their own citizens who were protesting the government. I- There's that.
Make it make sense, because I'm like, how do you hold these conflicting things in your mind at the same time and you don't have any sort of internal tension? You don't grab, because these bitches have no souls. That's why they don't have no fucking souls. I'm gonna just come out and say it. These people have no fucking empathy. They don't have no sympathy. Sociopaths are running our government at the highest levels. Fucking sociopaths.
In one of the letters from the 16-year-old, he wrote, quote, "This prolonged detention has and continues to destroy our lives. It is slowly killing us on the inside. Our mental health is at great risk. It is rapidly deteriorating with every day we spend here. Our lives are without purpose. We are just waiting for this nightmare to end." End of quote. And that's from one of the five children.
And to be that articulate about the trauma that you're experiencing, because let's be fucking clear,
Yeah.
it's got like these.
Now,
I'm
the
trying
teacher,
not to go where I want to go.
the teacher, so let me segue. The
I'm
teacher
trying
in
to
me
fucking find it.
appreciates the writing because when as an English teacher, I would often tell my students the emotion that brings the most out of you is anger. Anger and pain are two emotions that allow you to color your language and really speak from the soul and brings the best out of your writing. And so I when I was reading it, I was trying not to spike out. So I had to appreciate the command of language from this 16-year-old. It sounded like prose that I might have been reading to my students from some poet laureate. But these people are vile. They're vile.
I don't. That's not a good enough word. That's not a good enough word for me. It's not. It's not a good enough word. There's not a word that could describe the level of shame, disgust, and anger that I feel, not only at this administration, but the people that are elected that have abdicated their fucking responsibility.
No, 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 Cams. Go to the fucking root from the goddamn citizens of these
Oh, I
yet
was gonna get to them
United States
last.
of America
Don't give me.
who said we want this and voted for that because they were very clear that they were going to do this shit. And you had fucking monsters, the same monsters that have lived in this country since 16 fucking 19, the same monsters that beat, maimed, killed, and lynched black people are the same fucking monsters and animals and sick bastards that don't mind doing the same thing to children and adults just because they happen to be born in another country. In the same manner that we just happen to be born black, didn't have a choice in that. These people were born in other countries, had no choice in that. And these are the same things that this country has always done and always been about. We don't give a damn about who's killed. We do not give a damn about the humanity in people. We don't give a damn about anything. For all they give a shit, you might as well be not an animal, but an insect because they absolutely treat their pets and their fucking animals on their goddamn farms much better than they ever treated black people, much better than they treat the immigrants that happen to be born in another country. And that's the long and short of it. These people don't give a shit. So it makes sense that we have a bunch of fucking sociopaths in the White House because we've had sociopaths in the White House before. We've had the founding fathers that did some of the same shit to black people.
Do you recall an episode of Community? They had a very famous quote. I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at animal cruelty.
Hmm.
And of course, before you ask, yes, it was a woman. So I feel that it's so foreign to someone. This is a foreign concept to some people that voted for this bullshit, or they try to hand wave it away. When people don't look like you just assume they're this alien entity that you do not attempt to understand. They're just so foreign, so other. They're not human to you. You can't conceive them as being on the same level as you. So why would you care about the abuses that happen to them? Who gives a shit? But then it's like it's they've been losers. Like some of the people that voted for this, you've been losers. Like you've been a loser your whole life. This administration, this party over decades have convinced losers that they're temporarily displaced millionaires. They've convinced them to vote against their economic self-interest at every fucking turn. How many books we got to write about it? Do I need to go back and read What's the Matter with Kansas again? Again? Oklahoma always coming. Every county went red. How shitty is it to live there, though? Do we want to talk about that? Do we want to talk about outcomes, education outcomes, economic outcomes, health outcomes? But y'all continue to vote for this shit because the policies hurt the people that you don't like, the people that you don't attempt to understand, the people that you think are less than. They hurt you too, but that's fine because it hurts the right people.
My apologies. This was supposed to be a quick topic, and
Nah,
I
fuck them people.
spiked out.
Nah,
I
fuck them
spiked out a
people.
little bit. I did.
They're losers.
I
I
spiked
fucking
out.
say they're losers.
I spiked out.
And a lot of them are from my fucking home state. Losers, a lot of them. And they don't have all their goddamn teeth. Fucking losers.
Our final quick topic of the day. We'll call this Iran, the epic folly. Um
I'm still upset. I don't want to talk about Iran right now. I don't.
have it. The floor is yours, sir.
I just, how many generations have y'all not been shit? For somebody to just have a wake up call and be like, you know what? Maybe I can be something. Maybe I could be somebody. But no, you're resting on your laurels of mediocrity. You're resting on your laurels of, but I have white skin and you're homeless and you're poor and you're illiterate. What a fucking waste of white privilege. What a waste of goddamn white skin. Do you know I weep when I see homeless white people? How much of a head start did you have and you fucking squandered it? Really, you squandered it. You fucked it all up. Everything. They handed you the keys to the kingdom and you're destitute. And you have the audacity to think that I'm beneath you because I'm black? Laughable at best. These people are fucking delusional. Like these voters that are still not woken up, that are still under this cult of MAGA, there is no saving these people. There is no fucking helping these people. I'm done with the, oh, we just need to reach across. Fuck that. These people are the cancer that is going to rot democracy from the fucking inside. If you decided that this shit wasn't a deal breaker, if the racism wasn't a deal breaker, if the cruelty wasn't a deal breaker, you knew exactly what the fuck you voted for. You don't get to have regrets now. I don't want to see no goddamn tears. I don't want to hear that kumbaya bullshit. You knew exactly what the fuck you voted for. Now, you might not have known what a tariff was, but I blame it on your shitty ass education system that these people have critically underfunded for generations because the outcome was to get your dumb ass to vote for them. They got what the fuck they wanted. Education is the gateway. We've been taught that for how fucking long? But these people are willfully ignorant in 2026 when we got damn supercomputers in our hands. And you wanted me to feel empathy now that now that there's policies that are now impacting your communities? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. We all knew what the fuck the assignment was during the last election. Black people were the only fucking ones that were lockstep with common goddamn sense because we know the vileness of this goddamn nation. It has always been a racist fucking cesspool. We're a backwater ass country with high income individuals. Look at our goddamn infrastructure. We're the greatest nation on the planet. We got bridges collapsing left and fucking right. We got fucking companies leaking all sorts of chemicals into our goddamn water streams. Anything for the price of $1, though. I'm frustrated living in a country where there is so much economic opportunity that people risk their lives to get here. And you have people that were born here that would never amount to shit. And they don't want to amount to shit. And they're the goddamn majority. I'm sick of it. And the fact that I literally have gone to fight in a war for this country is insane to me. Why did I go? Because education is too fucking expensive. I went to go get my goddamn school paid for. I put my life on the line to get my fucking school paid for. Where every other fucking industrialized nation, they invest in their goddamn citizens. We don't give a fuck about our citizens in this goddamn country. And this administration is a stark fucking reminder of it. We're going to start a war with these motherfuckers. Some of you will die. We're willing to accept that sacrifice. Because our rich asses won't be over there. Oh, no, we won't be over there at all. But you poor black and brown motherfuckers, y'all can go over there and fight these people. That's what we're living in right now. And the fact that people aren't upset about this, I don't fucking know. Ignorance is truly bliss because that's why the majority in this country will never get fucking mad. That's why they'll never burn this shit down because ignorance is bliss. And they have deliberately kept the majority fucking ignorant. I'm done.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been episode 30 of Red, Blue, and Black. Red, Blue, and Black. I'm glad it wasn't me today. It was not me today.
I'm so angry that I want to cry right now. That's how upset I am about this. Like, this shit really pisses me the fuck off. And the fact that people don't see the stakes because they've lived this life of sheltered fucking comfort, go fucking somewhere else and see how great you have it. And then you do nothing to try to save it. It's frustrating and it's very upsetting to me that people just don't care.
I think that we have to take, and I learned this from watching my elders and ancestors who've gone on to, and I can't fault them for what they did, but in trying to save ourselves and our families, unfortunately, we end up having to try to save everybody else. And that's unfortunate. Sometimes you fight for people who harder for people who don't fight for themselves and don't want to fight for you. And that's just the reality of it. But I think what it comes down to is we can't allow ourselves to go down those rabbit holes. We can't become apathetic. We can't become weary and well doing. I can relate because I tell people all the time, I come up here every day just about when I'm not out of town. And I have to sometimes talk about some of the most insane, some of the most vile, some of the most horrific things. And people have asked me, uh, um, why do I do it? Somebody told me one time, well, you don't even have that many subscribers, so why do you continue to do this? Because my whole thing is always, even if there's one, even if there's just one person that could be saved, beautiful, wonderful. I can have solace in that. Sometimes that one person that I may save might be my damn self. And if I can save my damn self, guess what I'm going to do? Save my damn self. But we're here, episode 30, Red, Blue, and Black. We'll be back next week for y'all. Kamz, you want to say goodbye to the people?
I do. And also, just the reason I'm so upset is because I care. I do. I care about people. I give a fuck about people. I think going to Afghanistan radicalized me. It totally shifted my view. It woke me up to a lot of the propaganda that you see. And now I question everything. I look at everything through the lens of who benefits. So I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit because that's what people want. But I think that part of why we do this is because we want to keep people informed. Because an informed populace is scary and it's powerful. And I just think we never allow them to take our tools away from us. But I also want us to acknowledge that we will never tear down this system of oppression with the oppressor's tools. I want that to be very clear. So I'm gonna keep the fight up. I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep being mad because it's preferable to the other outcome. So we're gonna be back next week.
We'll be back next week.
We're
Next
gonna be
week.
back with some new stories, some new fuckery, some new foolishness. But that's okay
Yep.
because we're gonna use this to motivate the right people to get out there to do what they need to do because they don't want us there in November.
Well, gentlemen, ladies, non-binary, that was episode 30 of Red, Blue, and Black. We certainly enjoy bringing this to you every day. We actually have a great time
It's fun.
bringing this to you
It's fun.
every day. And y'all get to see Kamz. And I'm just the sideshow that just narrates
Oh,
and moderates.
here we go with this shit. Here we
I'm the moderator. Uh, um, anyway, until next week, y'all. As we always say here, regardless as whether the country is red or blue, we'll always be black.
Blike.
And we'll be back next week. We'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.